We'll call this meeting to order. Mr. Walkingstick, would you give the invocation, please?
God, we just praise you for this day, Lord, just waking us up, Father. And Lord, thank you for so many things. Father, pray for those who are sick. You can't be with us today, God. God, be with them. And God, just let them just rise up from the sick bed, Lord. And God, thank you for our veterans, Lord, that's protecting our country and giving us freedom, Lord. We praise you. We praise them for that, Father. And God, just be with the Cherokee Nation, be with all of our council members and the people here tonight. Just give them safe travel going back. And God, just guide our heart and our decisions tonight, Lord, for your glory. And God, just thank you for your Son, Jesus Christ, just going to the cross for all of our shortfalls, Lord. But God, be with us tonight. Amen.
Shelley, would you do the roll call?
Yes, ma'am. Jack Baker.
Here.
Rick Bezer.
Here.
Joe Bird.
Honey.
Julia Coates. Jody Fishicott.
Here.
Janelle Fulbright.
Present.
Dawn Garvin.
Honey.
Frankie Marcus. Hannah Laura Jordan.
Present.
Lee Keener.
Honey.
Dick Lake.
Here.
Curtis Snell. Janice Taylor.
Here.
David Thornton. Victoria Vasquez.
Honey.
David Walkingstick.
Honey.
Eric Allen Watts. We do have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. You have before you the January 12th, 2015 minutes. Do I hear a motion? So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and second. Are there any corrections or comments to be made? All those in favor can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it. We'll now move to the State of the Nation by Principal Chief Bill John Baker.
Only horse.
It's a winner.
OCO, and welcome to the February council meeting of the Cherokee Nation. The last month was really a tremendous time. We got the announcement that we had been successful on the joint venture, and so our staff is working hard and heavy trying to get all the applications together so that we can maximize that amount of dollars for the health care of the Cherokee people for generations to come. We've also launched a successful TV show called Voices of the Cherokee People that plays at 9 o'clock every Sunday morning on Channel 8. But then it'll also be on YouTube, and you can go to the internet and see it. And it is truly a great opportunity for some very professional Cherokees and to work extremely hard on not only modern day Cherokees, but on our perspective of our ancestors before the trail and after they got to Indian Territory, so that 150 years from now, our great-great-great-grandchildren can go back and see the documentation of these digital records of Cherokee speaking about Cherokees and telling those Cherokee stories. It's kind of like the Moravian journals or the newspapers of the day before removal, where the Cherokee people have an opportunity to go back and see what was happening at that time. So no other tribe is documenting in this way, and 30 minutes at a time we're telling our stories. So if anybody has ideas for other stories, they're going to be doing this for quite some time to tell our story and get it out around the world. We had Cherokee Day at the legislature, had a great participation from all the programs. The legislature seemed extremely glad to see us, and our government relations staff did some yeoman work and really made some good headway. We've rolled out our new CNG-powered buses. They're on the road that are not only better for the economy, but cheaper to run. And you need, if you haven't seen them yet, it's always good to be good for the environment and save money and still serve our people. Our financial team has finished getting their Fitch ratings and for our bondability, and the tribe's outlook is good and stable. So in this economy, we just keep getting better on that financial scale. Also want to highlight the national award for our communications department recently. They won the social media efforts by a government body, and they're really getting our message out about the things that are going on in the Cherokee Nation, about the jobs that are out there, and they're really doing a great job on Facebook and Twitter and whatever else they're doing on that social media. And finally, the end of this week, we will have the official grand opening or ribbon cutting for the brand new South Coffeyville Casino, which had opened up in the snowstorm, and I think 100 souls got out to be there for the first time they opened the doors. But we've hired 120 people in South Coffeyville, and that's a big deal, folks. And 100 of them were Cherokee citizens. At this time, we have a special recognition. We have Celso Schaefer Architect Firm from Tulsa here. They are tarot vendors certified by the Cherokee as a Cherokee Nation-owned business. They've won an Industry Design Award for the concept they developed for our Jack Brown Center that we opened just a couple of short months ago. Earlier, they gave me a copy of a plaque. They won as part of the Eastern Oklahoma American Institute of Architects Design Excellence Awards, and I'd like to congratulate the firm and thank them for allowing us to share in the honor. You raise your hand. Stand up. I'm sorry. There they are. Now I come to the portion of the meeting that my least favorite, but at the same time, we've always honored our ancestors, and I want to read a list of Cherokees that were with us last month that are no longer with us, and we'll have a moment of silence after, and I'll ask for any from the audience. But Joseph Adair of Muskogee, William Anderson of Locust Grove, Beverly Barger of Salisaw, Troy Barnes of Nowata, Edward Burgess of Tulsa, Peggy Carlton of Stillwell, Virginia Chuckluck of Pryor, Alan Klein of Tulsa, Donna Emerson of Coweta, Charity Forkiller of Stillwell, Gerald Glass of Fort Gibson, Jess Hare of Locust Grove, Edward Hammer of Westville, Rebecca Hendrickson of Tahlequah, James Johnson of Salisaw, Janice Johnson of Welch, Michelle Johnson of Grove, Justin Jones of Salisaw, Jason Kirk of Tahlequah, Winona Leach of Tahlequah, Samuel Little Deer of Stillwell, Lacita McDonald of Claremore, Carrie Morris of Claremore, Oliver Morris of Stillwell, Don Palmer of Tahlequah, Anna Wake Pettit of Salisaw, Markayla Porter of Tahlequah, Mary Eleanor Price of Nowata, Trayston Rattling-Gord of Tahlequah, Carl Reeser of Grove, Gerald Rozier of Broken Arrow, Esther Mae Henson Rutherford of Tahlequah, Jean Ann Sapp of Tahlequah, Naomi Sebastian of Grove, Gordon Sellers of Stillwell, Taya Simmons of Bristow, Gregory Smith of Tahlequah, Donnie Stanley of Tulsa, Jim Summerfield of Siloam Springs, Judy Taylor of Skytook, Marvin Thomas of Bonita, Donna Wickham of Oshaleta, Joe Young of Stillwell, and Pearl Matthews of South Coffeyville. Are there others? Donna?
Thelma Combs of Orem, also Vonda Painter of Muskogee.
Thank you.
There's Blanche Gord. She was 108 years old. Also, it's Prentice Robertson's mother.
I see.
The oldest Cherokee.
Yeah.
Mindy Hart of Stillwell. Mindy Hart of
Mindy.
Stillwell.
Any others?
Blanche Gord is my great aunt. She was born in 1906.
I see.
Cherokee was her first language from Moody's.
Dave Sanders, Jake Hummingbird, and Nellie Duncan, all of Stillwell, and Maxine Flute Ellis of Tahlequah.
We can have a moment of silence, please. God bless each and every one of you. God bless the Cherokee Nation.
Excuse me, Chief. Could you repeat the employment at the new casino that opened up? Did you say 100 out of 120?
I believe that's correct. And they ran out of Cherokees. The only reason there wasn't 120.
So five out of every 6 employees are Cherokee up there.
Correct.
That's great.
It's wonderful.
We tried for 100, but they ran out of those before they got to the end of it.
Thank you. We'll now have the Cherokee Warrior Veterans Awards by Deputy Principal Chief S. Joe Crittenden. I need Bruce Davis to check. We're getting a really bad propane gas, some kind of gas smell here. Don't want to blow us up while we're sitting in here.
And normally I help the DEP do this, but we've got health awards at the Northeastern, and so I'm going to go on up there and represent us well there, okay. So the deputy can handle it from here. Yes, sir.
And that's at the banquet room.
It's at the event center.
Event center.
Yeah.
For all of you all that are going afterwards on the council, that's on the other end of the campus.
Councilman Buzzard, would you like to help me with this?
The events.
The new event center there next to where they play basketball. Okay. I'm sorry, sir.
I'm not going.
No problem, Madam
Okay.
Speaker. I don't want to get blowed up either.
Yeah, it just came on all of a sudden. We
Yeah.
don't know what that's about. Maybe we better let him check it before we continue
Go
on,
ahead.
if y'all have a minute. I'm not sure where that smell's coming from. It's,
Something to do with your microphone.
no, it was like the heater came on.
Okay, I can go up on the roof and check it. Make sure
Just make sure that we don't get blown up. All right, thank you.
No problem. What is it?
It's gas, some kind of gas coming out of the heater,
Propane smell.
like a propane smell. Now we'll let you get started. Thank you, sir,
Thank
for
you,
your
Madam
patience.
Speaker. This evening, I'm pleased to be able to, for all of us to honor 3 veterans for their service to this country. And the first 2 are at large. So, Councilman Becker, would you come down and help us, please? Huh?
It's coming out of there, though. It's coming out of
Madam Speaker, our first veteran tonight is Mitchell Eugene Gwynn. Mitchell, would you come down, please? I'm going to read a little about Mitchell. Mr. Gwynn was born in Okemah to Ray and Shirley Gwynn. He served for a total of 25 years in the active U.S. Army and Army National Guard. He was a staff sergeant and military specialist in unit supply and as a construction engineer. During his career, he served in Iraq in 2004 and 2005, and he also served in Afghanistan in 2012 and 13. Staff Sergeant Gwynn earned a number of accommodations, including the Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, the Overseas Service Ribbon, Afghanistan Campaign Medal with Campaign Star, National Defense Service Medal, and the Combat Action Badge. And Mr. Gwynn, I want to thank you on behalf of this nation for your service to this country, sir.
Thank you.
Either way, I'm not even doing it. It's going
Honor. This is the medal. And of course, in here is a letter for a brick. It has been engraved and personal message and all, and placed at our Veteran Center over here. You mentioned purple already. Still.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, one second. Through the seal.
Mr. Gwynn, would you like to say something to our
It's an honor and I appreciate it.
That's good. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Bye.
Next, we have Gregory S. Phillips. Gregory, come down, please. Mr. Phillips was born to Jerry Lynn Phillips and Nora M. Phillips. He joined the Arkansas Army National Guard in March of 1986 and retired in May of 2006. After 20 years of service as a specialist fourth class, he served as a general construction operator and engineer, a vehicle track operator. Gregory served in the Operation Iraqi Freedom Campaign from 03 to 05. He was awarded several medals and awards during his 20 years of service, including the National Defense Service Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, and the Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal. And Mr. Phillips, thank you, sir, for your service to this country. Someplace that you like to show it to your family and all. This is our medal, of course. And then here is a brick, a medal for the brick that will be engraved and placed at our Warrior Memorial. Right? Thank you for your service.
You have any banner on the one?
For a picture. What? And would you like to say something?
Just it's a great honor. It's great.
Would you say that just a little bit louder? I don't know that you heard that.
Oh, thank you for this honor. This is awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Witt, my apologies, sir. I didn't ask you if you had anybody to get a picture with. Would you like to come down right quick and get a picture with your brother?
He was in Iraq with me in 2000.
Bring him down, we'll get a picture. Yes, sir. I overlooked that.
That's okay.
My mistake.
Thank you.
Thank you. The third veteran this evening is, I'm told, is from Tahlequah, and I was told that he was in Joe Byrd's, Councilman Byrd's district. But if all the council members from Tahlequah want to come down, or from Cherokee County, and will help me with this, okay? And that's Dustin Butler. Dustin, please come down. Dustin enlisted in the Marine Corps in November of 1999. He was activated in 2004 in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom II and was a part of a mobile strike team in the country until 2005. He earned the rank of sergeant in the Marines and was discharged in 2005. He then enlisted in the U.S. Air Force Reserve at the 138th Fighter Wing stationed out of Tulsa. He was deployed with the 138th in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom in 2007. He served in the U.S. Air Force Reserve until his medical discharge in 2013. His medals include Combat Action Ribbon, Sea Service Deployment Ribbon, Armed Forces Reserve Medal with M device, National Defense Service Medal, Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, Rifle Expert Badge, and Air Force Longevity of Service Ribbon. And Dustin, thank you, sir, for your service to this country.
And something that a lot of you don't know is Dustin worked with us in the legislative branch on IT, and he's also served and worked at the Housing Authority. I'm very proud of him. Comes from a good family, and he did tell his family tonight his mother's going to be all over me.
This is for your brick that will be placed at the memorial.
Awesome. Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
I don't know if he's going to try to
Well,
that's why I wanted that extra shirt. Yeah, he's got about 3 shirts on.
if he says hands,
I was ready for this.
I don't know if I can get that picked up there or not.
Nice. Okay.
Did I get you?
It's leather.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
What's this other part? Would you care to address the audience, sir?
I just want to say thank you for everything the tribe does for me, and yeah, I love it. It's a great family here. This is all the family I really need to be here, so they take care of me, so thank you.
Okay. Appreciate you. Good job. Thank you. Thank you very much. You've done great. I do. I have them. I didn't know if I could hear it. Yeah.
You can if you'd like.
Okay, yeah, I'll do it. Real fast.
Madam Speaker? Yes. He has something he wants to present.
Okay. Have him come down.
Yeah, he's going to. He's
I'm presenting to you.
I know most everybody knows I got the chance to go to the Super Bowl this year, courtesy of Operation Enduring Respect. And I got this ball signed for the tribe. It's a lot of the Hall of Famers. from the Super Bowl this year. So I'd like to present this to the tribe also to put in the Veterans Center or wherever they would like. So, in this.
Yeah.
So.
I was telling Dustin that or different ones that I was at the very first Super Bowl. That tells you something, doesn't it? Thank you very much on behalf of the tribe.
Joe.
Yes. Yeah, you bet. Harvey, you want to start with you?
Thank you,
Madam Speaker, that's all I have. Thank you.
Deputy. We appreciate you too.
Thank you, ma'am.
We're going to move into the monthly reports, and our Housing Authority Director is in Washington trying to capture us some money. So we're going to move right on into Cherokee Nation Businesses, our CEO, Sean Slayton.
Good evening, Council. Pleased to report both very strong months financially for our businesses in December and record month in January for the business, an all-time high on that we'll be reporting on next month as well. But it's really good news, so I'm telling it a little early. We also contributed $298,000 in tax collections in the month of December. I'm pleased to announce tonight that I believe it was yesterday at our board meeting, Chief Baker had asked us to adopt the same maternity leave policy that the nation has, and I'm pleased to announce that yesterday our board of directors endorsed that, and so we'll be following the same policy that the nation has, and I believe we even I think they've even retroed it back to the first of the year. So we'll be notifying our employees tomorrow. They're working on the language today, and that should go out as an announcement to our staff tomorrow. But appreciate our board for following the example, and I know they were happy to do that. Our expansion projects are well underway. The clinics are nearing completion. Next couple of months everywhere. We're excited for that. Our South Coffeyville facility opened in the snowstorm a week from Monday, and the first week was a great week for it. And really, my appreciation goes out to our staff for their efforts in getting that open quickly, and for opening a first-class facility. If you've been up there and looked at it, it's really nice. So we're moving on at Roland. The casino should open May 14th. The hotel the next few months after that. It's going to be a fantastic project as well. I want to congratulate our Cherokee CRC for their efforts in down at Anadarko. They were recognized for their green building project. That was a big project for dormitories down at Riverside Indian School in Anadarko, and it received a LEED Silver certification from the U.S. Green Building Council. Just a little bit about LEED is that's a green building program that aims to save energy, use fewer resources, reduce pollution, and contribute to healthier environments for its occupants and communities. The certification recognizes best-in-class building strategy and practices. They made special considerations to ensure that both construction and operation of the dormitories would be eco-friendly. I'd like to congratulate Cheryl Cohenhauer and her team for that. I toured that facility when it was under construction. I didn't get to go back when it was completed, but it's quite a facility, and something that the Cherokee people should really be proud of being a part of for those children that live there. A few weeks ago, we had the premiere of the OCO Voices of the Cherokee People. I hope everybody got a chance to see that. That's going to repeat monthly on several stations across the 14 counties. Appreciate the efforts of Amanda Clinton and Jennifer Lauren and her team to pull that together in relatively short notice once we got the approval to move forward with it. We're very excited about the possibilities in the future with what we can do with that particular show. Wrapping up our report, our December numbers, we had 6,025 employees, 4,646 CMB employees when you exclude the contract and temporary employees. Our Cherokee percentage on the units that we can practice preference is 74.3%. Other Native Americans 7.7%, for a total of Native American employment of 82.1%. And that concludes my report, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions? Sean, go while you can. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much for that report. That moves us down to old business, and I see none pending, so we'll move into new business. And Janelle, do you have a motion here?
Yes. This is concerning a resolution 14122 to be moved to the front so we can get this over with and this lady can go on home.
I second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and second to move number 5. It's number 5, but it's also style 14-122 to the front of new business. Are there any comments? All those in favor can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it. And we'll go ahead, let's see, Janice, would you take that?
14122?
Or 14122.
This is a resolution appointing Francis L. Head to the Cherokee Nation Elected Officials Citizen Committee, and I move for its approval.
We have a motion and a second, and Ms. Head is here tonight. Are there any questions or comments?
I'd like to be added as a sponsor.
Yes. Are there other folks that would like to be added as sponsor? It looks like just about everybody. Yes. Okay. If we could get everybody on there. All those in favor of this resolution can signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Ayes have it. Ms. Head, would you like to say anything?
Thank you for the opportunity to serve the Cherokee Nation. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm going to do a good job for you all. And I just, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much.
Well, thank you for your service. Very much appreciated. Okay, that's going to move us back up to number 1. Ms. Taylor, I'm going to have you take that one too.
Okay. It is a resolution authorizing a business lease on trust land in Rogers County, Oklahoma, and I move for its approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the business lease. Are there any questions or comments? Yes, Mr. Keener.
I'd like to be added as a sponsor, please.
Okay. Anybody else? Questions or comments?
I want to be added as a
Okay,
sponsor.
Janelle too.
Me too.
Okay, any other questions or comments or additions? All those in favor can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it. That'll move us into, thank you, Ms. Head, for coming. Okay, that'll move us into number 2. Mr. Lay, would you take that?
It's a resolution authorizing business lease on trust land in Kay County, Oklahoma. Move for its approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on that business lease. And as the public probably knows, these were all well vetted in committee. So the council is quite familiar with them. Questions or comments?
Like
Yes.
to be added as a sponsor.
Mr. Baker would like to be added as a sponsor. Anybody else? Okay. This was the little short-term leases. Is that the little TNT short-term leases? Okay. All those in favor can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes will have it. Ms. Fishenhawk, will you take number 3?
Yes, I sure will. This is a resolution confirming the nomination of Carrie Philpott as a member of the Cherokee Nation Registration Committee, and I move for approval.
Second. Oh, well, no, I'm going to have Frankie, you need to, okay.
I'd like to say a few words.
Yes.
I've known Carrie all my life. Matter of fact, I still know her as Carrie Warner Philpott. She don't live 3 miles down the road from me. She was elected Adair County Clerk for 5 consecutive terms. She's been on the election board, the assessor's office. Everybody in town knows her as Granny. She was a lifetime resident. She's proud Cherokee. She spent all her life trying to make Adair County a better place for its citizens and its Cherokees. And she has a deep respect for the history of the nation and its culture. And I'm very proud to nominate her.
Other comments? I would also like to make a comment. She was a very good friend of my parents who have passed on now, and always, without fail, if I stepped into that courthouse, she was always there with good words, and very much respected. Very much respected. Okay. Other comments?
I've also known Carrie all of my life, and she's a wonderful woman, and she will serve us well.
Okay, all those in favor of this resolution can signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. That will move us, I believe we can do 4, 6, and 7 together because those are all for the same committee. And that would be Rick Smith, Lyndon Emberson, and Joe Hutchison being appointed to the Cherokee Nation Citizens Committee. Let's see. Who wants to?
I'll do it.
Okay. Okay. Ms. Taylor, you make that in the form of a motion?
Yes.
Yes.
A resolution appointing Rick Smith, Lyndon Everton, and Joe J. Hutcherson, she's already been approved, to the Cherokee Nation Elected Officials Citizen Committee, and I move for that approval.
And Mr. Byrd would second that. Are there questions or comments? All those in favor can signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Ayes would have it. Now, there is a little amendment, I think, that we're asking to be considered on number 8, just a clarification. I believe both our attorney and our financial folks, and both our financial folks, as a matter of fact, asked for this clarification. Would you mind taking that? The amendment has been put in front of them, and it's just that little wording right there.
Okay. An act relating to salaries for elected officials and technical amendments, Act 2012 relating to the stipend for the Citizens Committee. And what we have put in this is the Citizens Committee shall be paid $500 per committee member to cover all expenses they incur to attend up to 3 of their meetings, which will be a maximum of $1,500 per committee member. And that is changes that were made. Right.
And really, the only change, as I understand it, was so that we knew what to lay aside. Lacey, am I correct there? You just wanted to have a final number for a little budget. Okay. And it's the one that's in front of you versus the one that's in the book. Okay. You can put that in form of a motion?
Form of a motion and move for its approval.
Okay. We have a second by Mr. Garvin. Are there questions or comments? It's the one in front of you now, not the one in the book. I think there's maybe just been 5 or 6 words added so that they know a defined amount. Okay. All those in favor of, would there be a suggestion of by acclamation?
By acclamation.
Okay. Okay. All those in favor of this act can signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? I believe the ayes have it. We'll let them begin their work. That will move us to page 3 of the agenda. And if you all will remember, out of Executive and Finance Committee, there was 9 through 17, there was donations of surplus equipment to various community groups. 9 through 18. See, Mr. Byrd, would you take that?
We're going to do those in total?
Yes.
Okay. Is a resolution authorizing Cherokee Nation Warehouse to donate surplus office equipment to the various communities in Cherokee County and other various counties. I'll put that form of a motion.
Second. We have a motion and several seconds. Shelley, you can ferry that out for your minutes. Are there questions or comments? Thank you. I would like to make one comment. I think this is a very good use of surplus equipment that would bring very, very little at a sale. And if we can help our nonprofits and our community groups in this way, as long as we're careful and make sure that each one of these community groups have an intention of making good use of this property, it has very little value when it goes to a sale, but it has a great amount of value if you give a chair or a desk or something of value that these folks can continue to use that we can no longer use. So I'm very happy with the way we're doing this now. Other questions or comments? We'll do them in total. All of those in favor of these resolutions can signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Ayes have it. Okay. Ms. Taylor, would you take number 19?
This is an act, Legislative Act 2514, authorizing the comprehensive operating budget for fiscal year 2015, Mod 5, and declaring an emergency, and I move for its approval.
1 second.
Okay, we have a motion and second. This is Mod 5. Are there questions or comments? Okay, all those in favor, well, again, yes, I'm sorry. Mr. Baker, you keep me straight on this, okay? All those in favor of this act can signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? I believe the ayes have it. That will move us down to what is captioned as number 20 on your handout. These all came out of, I'm sorry.
We haven't amended the agenda.
Okay. Mr. Baker, would you care to do that?
Yes. I make a motion that we amend the agenda to include items 20 through 29 that came from the various committees today.
Okay, we have a motion and second to amend the agenda. Would there be any questions or comments? All those in favor for the amendment of the agenda can signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Ayes have it. That will move us into number 20. Let's see, Frankie, would you care to take that?
20 is the resolution authorizing Human Services to submit an application for funding to the Oklahoma Office of Juvenile Affairs for Youth Shelter Services and Prevention and Diversion Services. And I'll put that form of a motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and second. Do we have additional sponsors on that might be added? No. Did everybody get on in committee? Is that right, Shelley? We get everybody out of committee and we just, okay. So I think we've got all of y'all. This is a really good grant for our youth shelter. Are there questions or comments? All those in favor of the resolution can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it. Janelle, will you take number 21?
Yes. A resolution authorizing the Bureau of Indian Affairs, the BIA, to revise and update the Cherokee Nation's inventory of tribal transportation facilities. And I put this in form of a motion and ask for it to
be the version that was handed out in committee.
The version that was handed out in committee today.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Do we have questions or comments? That's adding to the tip system, I believe, some new roads, which they will go on the end of the tip system. All those in favor can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes will have it, and we'll alert Michael Lynn that he can send that on up. Number 22. Mr. Baker, let's have you, yes, Mr. Baker, let's have you take that on Julia's behalf.
Thank you. This is a resolution in support of the Autry National Center in the Los Angeles areas for their exhibit, Empire and Liberty, the Civil War in the West exhibit, where the Cherokee Nation features prominently in this exhibit. And I make a motion that it be approved.
Second motion.
Okay. We have a motion and second. Do we have?
I want to be added as
Okay.
sponsor.
We need one to be added. Do we have anybody else? All those in favor of this resolution can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Mr. Garvin, I should have took you on that one, so would you do number 23?
Just say,
I'm sorry. I was going to get you on the next one, Chief.
okay.
Yeah.
Are we going to do 23 now?
Yeah, but I was going to get you on 24. I think Mr.
Okay.
Garvin was going to do 23.
A resolution authorizing the placement of land and trust clinic in the woods. I make a motion that be approved.
Are there questions or comments? This is on placement of land and trust. Okay, all those in favor of the resolution can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it. Mr. Byrd, would you take number 24?
Yes, this is a resolution authorizing the placement of land and trust, Cascade. I put that in form of a motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and second, and this again is authorizing the placement of land and trust. Let's see, Mr. Byrd, that's those were both. One was this one's Cascade, and the other one was the clinic in the woods.
Yes.
Okay. Any questions or comments on that? On placing the land in trust, starting the application process. All those in favor can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it. Janelle, can you take number 25?
A resolution electing the office of secretary for the tribal council. And we do this every year, and in committee, we nominated Councilor Jody Fishenhock for this position, and I put this in form of a motion, and we need a second.
Second.
We have a second by Mr. Byrd. Do we have any questions or comments? All those in favor can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Abstain.
We have one abstention. Mr. Keener. Okay. Number 26. Ms. Victoria, will you take that?
Yes, this is from Rules Committee, a legislative act entitled the Cherokee Nation Motor Vehicle Licensing and Tax Code Modification of 2015. I put this in form of a motion.
Second motion.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have questions or comments? Yes, Mr. Lay.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to amend this legislation for the new portions only, the new portions only, to share that revenue 50-50 with the inside the jurisdiction equally throughout the 14-county jurisdiction.
Okay. Will you repeat that for our records?
Sure.
I'm not sure I understand what we're
And
trying to do.
it is difficult. Motion to amend the legislation to leave everything the same except the new jurisdiction, compact jurisdiction, to share the revenue and proceeds 50-50 with the old in-jurisdiction legislation.
Okay.
Put that in form of a motion.
Okay. That's in the form of a motion. Do we have a second?
that a friendly amendment?
I don't, no.
Sorry, did you ask for friendly or did you ask for?
I don't, I don't think friendly would work, but I'll ask. Would you accept that as a friendly?
I'm not sure it's up to me. I would like to have input from our Secretary of State. Sorry.
Just technically, if they offer a friendly, it is up to the one making the motion, and the second has to agree to it. But you've asked to hear the comments of pros and cons as seen by the executive branch regarding that motion. And I'm going to take leeway and ask that he make those comments.
Thank you. Just briefly, Madam Speaker, the Chief, the administration is very confident that the legislation we put before you is consistent with the compact that this body approved, that the Cherokee Nation signed. And I with respect to Councilman Lay, I think that that would not be consistent with it. I've heard his arguments and respect them greatly, but just respectfully disagree. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so you as the motion maker will not accept it, so that we don't even have to go any further. You want to make it in the form of
Yes, ma'am. Just go ahead and make that as a motion.
Okay. So we have a motion made, and does everybody understand now the motion that's been made? Okay, is there a second?
I'm not clear. Are you saying you want half of the new tag money to go in jurisdiction and half of the new tag money to go in the expanded jurisdiction?
The money that's made in the new jurisdiction stays in there, and then the money that's made in 14 counties stays in that section.
It would be in the four
Let me,
the counties that we've
and
expanded.
it's confusing. The new compact jurisdictional area, which is all those things on the maps that we saw outside.
What I'm asking about is
If they get $100, if the revenue is $100 out of there, half of that will come back to be split equally in the present jurisdiction. Plus, well, there's a plus. Plus the other, apparently there's, and Secretary, if I'm wrong, tell me, there's a profit above and beyond what's sent to the other jurisdiction.
Well, I think Mr. Reese laid out...
Or a revenue stream.
Mr. Reese laid out those numbers today nicely, and would defer to him to repeat them. I don't have those at the tip of my head.
If I'm understanding you correctly, say we collected $1.5 million in this expanded jurisdiction. The schools get 38% of that, so it's roughly $570,000. Are you wanting to split that $570 to go 50%?
Whatever the new jurisdiction ends up, like I said, leave it like it is, except whatever the new compact jurisdiction ends up with. If it's 500,000, let me do a round number.
Right.
That would be split. The 250 would come back equally split amongst all the schools in the 14 county jurisdiction that we have now.
Okay.
We're getting $1 million in there now. We're getting $1.5 million, right? Extra in there. So that'd be $750,000. Yeah, they're going to get more outside than we get inside because they're 45 now. Okay, we've got a motion on the floor. Do we have a second? Okay, it dies for a lack of a second, Mr. Lay. I'm
Sure,
sorry.
I understand.
Okay.
15-round fight. It's not over until the last second comes out of it. Yeah.
Okay, that puts us back to the original motion and second. I believe that was made by Victoria and Don. Okay.
Call for question.
Okay, call for the question. Are you wanting to try by acclamation?
Yes.
Okay. All right, all those in favor of the legislative act entitled the Cherokee Nation Motor Vehicle Licensing and Tax Code Modification of 2015 can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Is there any opposition? Okay.
Aye.
David, Dick, and myself.
And I feel compelled, I'm one of them that's going to vote no. I'm not against education. None of the three of us that are voting no are against education. Every one of us have expressed some very deep emotions regarding this act, because this is where I drop back and say, I have to take care of my little dependent schools. And my dependent schools are getting somewhat less than I could get them if we voted in favor. Yet, I understand that we've made a deal with the government and we've got to stay with what we did. But I just have a very deep emotional, I'm torn here. And I know that Mr. Walkingstick, I know that Mr. Lay is equally torn. I know all of us have been torn over how to divide this up. I can see both ways, and I certainly believe in the democratic process here. I knew I was going to be outvoted, but I believe I've cast my ballot or cast my vote, as I do, I think, Mr. Lay and Mr. Walkingstick and all of us on this body have cast our vote the way we feel our constituents would want us to do it this time. And I am proud to see that this is over with and that now we will be able to get this money out to the communities. In fact, if I'm not wrong, we can distribute this money somewhere around March 27th. And this is much needed in our public schools, however we divide it up. It is extremely needed out there because they do not have the money to do the job that we've tasked them with. And so this money will be God sent for all of these schools, however we divide it up. And we will all leave here tonight as friends. Okay? Thank you all very much. And again, we need to check. We're still getting, I believe what's happening here is the, what do you call that? The little part has, pilot light has gone off. Because it's coming out, it's very strong right here. Okay, thank you all very much. That will move us on to number 27, which came out of rules today. And Janelle, I'm going to ask you to take that.
Yes, this is an act relating to intoxicating liquors, and this is something that's seen as an emergency, reason we brought it on tonight. And this is something that was accidentally left out of our codification, and we just, more or less, it's like a scrivener's error, and we need to correct it. So I move for its approval.
Do we have a second? Second. Okay, a motion and second. That is an act that came out of rules today. Are there questions or comments? Yes. Yes, Mr. Baker.
Under Section 5, it should be every person rather than each person. Ask for correction.
I think you may have got the old version. We did correct those typos this afternoon. I think the Attorney General's office was a little hurried when they realized last night that this had been left out, and it's a much needed thing because it will allow us to have our Cherokees or any Indians that maybe have problems, so let's say at the casino, we will be allowed to take them into tribal court, and there are services that we can offer them that maybe they might not be offered in other locations. So that's the way I see this as something helpful to our folks. No, and nobody likes to be caught out in a public drunk situation. But if there are other services that we could offer, and Sarah's here tonight to answer that from the AG's office, I want our folks to have that opportunity. And there's a whole lot of services that we can offer them at Cherokee Nation. Okay. Any other questions or comments? This is an act.
By acclamation.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Baker. All those in favor can signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Ayes have it. Ms. Taylor, would you take number 28?
This is an act amending Legislative Act 2414, authorizing the comprehensive capital budget for fiscal year 2015 Mod 2 and declaring an emergency, and I ask for its approval.
My second.
Okay, we have a motion and yes.
Should we do that by acclamation?
Yes, we have a motion and second on Mod 2, number 28 on your agenda, and I think we discussed that at length this afternoon in our executive session. Any questions or comments? By acclamation, all those in favor of this act can signify by saying aye. Aye. All those against? Believe the ayes have it. Ms. Taylor, will you also take the last one?
I will. It too is an act. It's amending Legislative Act 2514, authorizing the comprehensive operating budget for fiscal year 2015, Mod 6, and declaring an emergency, and this is as amended in committee. And I move for its approval.
I second it and wanted to point out that the charitable contributions, we talked about the $14,000, has come out of cash match for grants.
And that is
That by
for-
acclamation?
Yes. Other questions or comments? And let me just make sure, Ms. Horn, that includes our community, the additional money we need for the community organizations. Okay. All right. All those in favor of this act can signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Okay. We're down to the announcement part. Harley? Anybody over on this side? Anybody over on this side? All right. If you all get up towards the other end of the campus, the council was all invited to the banquet tonight where they honor all of their employees. Okay, do I hear a motion to adjourn? Second. All those in favor could signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you all for coming, and thank the council for such a long day. Appreciate your attention.